Welcome to the Women's National League Rep Series 22. I'm delighted to be joined with Alanna Cunnane. Thanks, Alanna, for coming on once again. Wexford got the win over Cork City. It's 5-1 in the end. Cork going ahead early in the game with Drake scoring early on, but Wexford really put the foot down to get that win. And with that win, Alanna, Wexford are now top of the table. How exciting is this title race going to be?
Very exciting, Emma. Definitely a weekend for the title race that was with all the results kind of going that way. I was nervously looking over. Do you remember those start of the year predictions? I had put Wexford, so for the last while, it didn't look like it was going to come off because Shells have just been so dominant, for the last while, and they really went through kind of a period there where it didn't look like anyone was going to catch them. But I don't know, maybe we'll have a conclusion that'll live up to last year yet. But yeah, as you say, kind of the game, they were dominant enough in the end. I saw there was a bit of kind of controversy floating around about some of the decisions, but I don't think you can take that away from Wexford. It was just a very kind of classy display from them to put the goals away and get the 5-1 in the end. I think it was deserved. And if I'm not mistaken as well, it was Kylie Murphy's 100th WNL goal, which is just phenomenal. I know it just kind of confirms what everybody already knows. She's just one of the greatest the WNL has seen.
Yeah, it is crazy to get 100 WNL goals. Like, what a stat to have for yourself. And moving on, speaking of the title race, Peamount, they overcame Shelbourne at Talca Park 1-0. Steph Roche scored that winning goal in the 60 or the 76th minute. Probably one of the best Peamount performances I've seen from them so far this season. And what do you think it was that helped Peamount to get that win, Alanna?
TG Catter just always seem to magic, don't they? But no, I think kind of you always see it like between Shells and Peamount. They both kind of turn up the notches a few bits because there's just that rivalry there, and they both really want to push on and get that result so much. I think it's interesting as well. I was just noticing there when I was reading the table, it's quite funny because Peas and Athlone are tied at the minute, and everyone's talking about how Athlone have had the season of their kind of history, which they have, and they've been brilliant. But it's kind of just shows you the expectations that are on the different clubs there when you have your Anya O'Gormans, Karen Duggins, Stephanie Roaches, and that kind of thing. But yeah, they pulled it out of the bag there at the weekend. Sive Doyle was brilliant as well in that one, getting things going for them and creating chances for others too. So yeah, I just think it's quite funny given the expectations. And I think an interesting one as well, I saw, Emma, they have two people in the top 5 goal scorers list, being Anya O'Gorman on 16 and Stephanie Roach on 14. And they're the only ones to have the two in the top 5. So maybe that's kind of suggestive of kind of, while they have a lot of players with special ability, other teams have kind of a wider base, just at the minute, of more kind of exceptional talent. But yeah, dare we say it, we might have an end to the season like last year. Shells at Athlone next weekend. That's going to be a massive tie. And yeah, Wexford hosting Treaty at home, I believe.
Yeah. I think also for Peamount to get that win over Shells finally this season, they probably definitely didn't want to go a season getting beaten by Shells 3 times. So probably a bit of
well.
No. Moving on now, Galway, they were the winners. Showgrounds 5-2 against Sligo Rovers. It was 2-2 at half time. I suppose Galway really kind of turned the game around in that second half. Alanna, was there a player in that Galway side that impressed you?
I think there was a few. I think it has to be said as well, though, there was a few kind of in the Sligo side. I know McGrory, she got the brace again, and she's been doing so for a few weeks now, I believe. That's just massive for Sligo to have a player that's that consistent, alongside the names that people are starting to get to know now, and Emma Doherty and other players too. But yeah, I thought on the Galway side of things, I thought Lindsay McKee was fantastic. Kind of most of the play I thought was running through her. And in Julianne's absence, I'm not sure where Julianne is. Maybe she's injured or something, but I thought she really kind of stepped up and was running things there and being that playmaker that they need. And then I was delighted for Jenna Slattery too when she pulled that one off. If you haven't seen it, I'd urge everyone to go watch it. That was a cracker of a goal. I was actually in the stadium, so I kind of had a different view of it. But yeah, it was just a brilliant goal, and good to see her, I think, as well. Come and good a bit, because the way she had that exceptional form with Treaty, and it was just about kind of bringing that into Galway, and she's well capable of it. So it was brilliant to see her getting that one. And yeah, it'd be a real shame to lose that Galway outlet of football as well, I think, just to say there's a lot of top class players there, and the West kind of needs to keep that foothold there. So yeah, hopefully that all gets resolved too.
Yeah. Moving on now, DLR Waves and Athlone Town, they drew 1-1 at the Bowl. Kate Mooney scored for the Waves. Madison Gibson got that goal for Athlone Town. Because of the form Athlone have been in recently, do you think that they'd be disappointed with that draw, or do you think maybe the 1-1 was a fair reflection of the game?
I think it was probably a fair reflection of the game, Emma, because while they had chances for the win, maybe through like Emily Corbett, DLR also had chances for the win. And in that regard too, I think it's a reflection of not only that game, but their position now in the league in terms of kind of the wider spectrum, what we were touching on there. Like, Athlone have cemented themselves kind of in that race with DLR Waves for that to break into the top 3 maybe, or just outside of it. And it'll be interesting to see what they'll do next year, because like we're saying, they had a great season this year. It's just about kind of cementing that as the regular now, and tagging along with DLR Waves there to see who can break into that top 3.
Yeah. And finally, Bows, they beat Treaty comfortable 4-0 down at Markets Field, a game where Abby Brophy was on fire for the away side. She scored 2, she assisted 1. Alanna, there's been like a sort of consistency about this Bows side, especially this season. And I think Brophy has a part to play in that, especially with her performances as well.
I thought you were about to start a new chant there. Abby Brophy's on. But yeah, no, she's been serious for both, and they've been consistent as well. I think kind of set themselves apart from the bottom 3. There's kind of this 3 tiers emerging in the WNL. But yeah, I fear for Bowes. I wonder will they keep hold of her for much longer. She's been that good. She's such a threat, and we've talked about it before, Emma. She can play kind of in those few positions too, whether that be right back, right mid, or kind of up there with the forwards too. She's just brilliant. And I think Bowes have really been strengthened by the players that they brought in, especially in Sinead Taylor's with Sinead Taylor's injury being such a blow to them. I think they've had those players come in and fill the gaps, and hopefully we'll see Sinead back too. But as you say, Abby Brophy getting the goals there alongside Rachel Doyle and Neve Pryor. So I think Bowes have been competitive. They'll just kind of be hoping to make again, same as Athlone, stick with that kind of position next year, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks, Mil, for joining me, Alanna, today, and I'll speak to you very soon.